All right, is 15 a FOIL method problem? Yep. So go ahead and full out 15, should be an easy one. I got it. All right, let's multiply it out. We got 6 times 6. Y'all should have 36 there. I got a plus 24i. I got a minus 24i. And then I've got a minus 16i squared. All right, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. What does that I squared do to that negative 16? Negative 1. Yeah, so that's negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 16 makes that a positive 16, right? All right, Matthew, what happens in the middle now? Positive 24i and negative 24i. 36 plus 16 is 52. All right, so 15 I thought was pretty easy. 16 is going to be a little bit harder. All right, so look what I did first on 16. What did I do? I brought the i's out. Do that first when you write it down. All right, now try to full it out, see how far you can get. This one's a little tougher. All right, full it out. 8 times 8 is 64, right? What do I get when I times these two? Now look, that's 8 times I. That's just going to be plus 8i, and just put the root 11 behind it. Right? Now what about in the middle? Minus 8i. Good. All right, those are normally pretty easy. This is where they normally have trouble, times in these two. Okay, Matthew, question. Got it? All right, I times I is I squared. Hang on just a second, I'll come back to that. Root 11 times root 11 is square root of 121, which is just 11. All right, Harlan, you got a question? How's the 8 connected with the I? Well, the I times 8, those are just numbers. You can times those. You just can't times 8 with the square root. Yeah. All right, so again, what happens in the middle? Cancel out. Good, I like that. This is where they have trouble sometimes. What is I squared? Negative 1. It's on the board, it's negative 1. So that's really like negative 1 times another negative 1. So that's positive 11 down there because a negative times a negative is a positive, right? All right, here's how I got 11. Root 11 times root 11 is root 121, right? Look on the board, Matthew. Root 121 is just 11. Yep. So now, final answer, 64 plus 11 is 75. Yeah, we're going to have to do some more of those.
You did not have to do all that work. There was...
You didn't have to show all that work. You could have
No,
done
you could have just, mine did it, and been like, there's a negative on the first one, positive on the first one, it's going to cancel out in the middle, and then if you times the last two, the square roots are going to cancel out, and then the negative makes 11
You're absolutely right.
a positive. Exactly. I know I'm right.
All right, let's go to 17.
You haven't been wrong by trying to get ahead. How many times have you been wrong?
No,
About
I'm
one
not
out of
getting
one.
ahead. There was an easier way to...
All right, so we got 10 plus 48. I got 58 minus 15i. Somebody check that one. I don't know why it's doing that. Somebody check this one for me. Is that what y'all got? All right, 18 is a little bit different. Is 18 a FOIL method problem? It is. When we do FOIL, we always do it with 2 expressions, right? We got 3 this time. So what do y'all think? Do the first 2, Matthew, get an answer, then bring down the third one, do it again. Now, that will work every time, but on this particular problem, it doesn't matter which ones you do first. For example, you could do first and third first and bring the second one down. Does that make sense? I think it would be easier to do these 2 first. Why do I think that? Because the middle is going to cancel out. How do I know that? Because we just did one like it on 16. Same numbers, one's a positive, one's a negative. So why don't we rewrite this one? 4 plus 3i and 4 minus 3i. Do that first, then bring down 2 minus 5i, and do it again. Go. All right, see what you got. If I pull this out, I got 16 minus 12i plus 12i minus 9i squared. Hey, Matthew, what does that I squared do to that negative 9? 3 times negative 3 is negative 9i squared.
Coach Aaron,
Yes.
Jeff Harlan Pruitt,
Yep.
said yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Sign out, please.
All right, thank you. All right, Matthew, what you think now? Yeah, that makes it a positive 9 on the end. The middle cancels. 16 plus 9 is that 25? All right, now bring down the third one. Now we bring down 2 minus 5i. Now we won't have to FOIL this. We can just distribute. So, Kaylin, what's your final answer? All right, you would have gotten the same thing if you would have FOILed these two first and then brought the third one down. All right, so y'all can mark off 23 and 24. We're not going to do those. I won't put those on the test, but we do know how to do. We do need to know how to do 19 through 22. All right, we'll turn the air off. All right, how is 19 through 22 different? These have equal signs. These all say to solve. Okay. Now, we've learned 3 different ways this year to do this. We can do quadratic formula, we can do the synthetic division, but what's the easiest way? Just move the 25 over. That's going to be negative 25. Let's do that first. N squared equals negative 25. All right, what do we do from here? Take the square root. Now, what's the square root of 25? What's the square root of negative 25? 5i. So answer is plus or minus 5i. All right, why do I have to put plus or minus on these? I haven't been putting plus or minus. These are equations. These have an equal sign. It says to solve. So the only ones you'll have to do plus or minus are these 4 on 19 through 22. All right, do 20 the same way. All right, so first step, move over 10. Y'all should have negative 10, right? Last step, take the square root. So what's my answer on this one? Plus or minus I, root 10. Plus or minus I, root 10. If you plug that on in your calculator and try to simplify it, I don't think it simplifies. All right, 21's a little different. Look at it. What do I move over first? 42, move it over, that's going to become a negative 42. All right, Matthew, keep going. What's next? Good. That gives me negative 7. All right, what do y'all think is the last step? Take the square root. So what's my answer? What's my answer going to be? Plus or minus I root 7. Good, y'all do 22. 13i. Everybody good? How did we get the I? We're going to start on 20 and go through 38. All right, now yesterday we tried to type this in our program button. It kept saying domain error. So let's just do 21 in our head. What's the answer going to be if I take the square root of 4 on top? Square root of 4? 2 square root of 9. So what's my answer? 2i over 3. So we should be able to do that in our head. All right, now 23 is different. Let's look at it. We start off with the square root of negative 100. 23, right? Oh, 22. Skip 22. Yeah, 7i. Yeah, you can do that. All right, 23. How do we start it? What's the square root of 100? So this is going to be 10i, right? Now what about the k4? We got to take the square root of k4. What's that going to give me? K2. Now another way you can do it, since this is a square root problem, right? That's an automatic 2. You can just divide 4 divided by 2 and get k2. All right, so I showed you 23. Use that same thought process and do 24. How do we start this one off? What's the square root of negative 36? 6i, right? All right, now, what did I say do with this square that's out here? Divide them. So I got 4 divided by 2 gives me m2, right? And how many n's? N1. Good. So y'all have done that before anyway. Alright, so that's 24. What's 25? I'm skipping it for some reason. What's 25? 25 we're skipping. Mark it out. We're not doing that one. Alright, let's go to 26. Alright, 26. We did this yesterday. What's the easiest way to set this up if it's got a square behind it? Write it twice. 2i times 2i. Alright, get me an answer now. If you can skip a step and still get it, that's fine with me. All right, Jada said that's 4i squared. So now what does the I squared do to my answer? Negative 4. Good. Show me at least one step on those and just keep moving. All right, y'all should be able to do 27. Go. When we times these three numbers together in the front. Negative 4 times negative 5 times 3. Positive 60, right? You got an I to the third, because we got 3 i's, right? Now how does that change it? So my answer is negative 60 and an I. All right, look at 29. What have I already done on 29? I took the i's out, right? All right, so now what's next? Let's go ahead and times it. I times I is I squared. All right, somebody help me. What's 11 times 22? 242. All right, everybody good on the first step? All I did was multiply them together. Now take your calculator. Let's hit the program button, and let's see what 242 simplifies into. All right, hit program, enter twice, remember. 242 is 11 root 2. So my answer is going to be negative 11 root 2. All right, wait a minute. I skipped a step there. Where did the negative come from? I squared changes to negative 1. So that's how I got negative 11. Okay, 30 should be the same way. Do 30 just like we did 29. Use your see what y'all got. Let's multiply them. I'm going to need some help. 2 times 1/8 is... So I got 1/4 I squared root 100. All right, so what's the square root of 100 change into? 10. How about the I squared? So right now I got negative 10 times 1/4. I don't know what that is. Answer is negative 5/2. Did anybody have a question on that? I skipped some steps. We should be fine. You show me one step, then your answer, we should be good. All right, let's keep going. All right, why did I skip 31? Let's look at them. 31, you guys can do 31 on your own. Take your eyes out first, multiply 8 times 18 and go from there. All right, so in just a minute, when y'all have a little time, I want y'all to do 32 and 33 by yourself. Skip 34. That's not going to be on your test. Just skip it. All right, so 35, 36, and 37. We talked about these yesterday. You guys know now there's an I button on your calculator you can use, but I still think it's faster just to divide by 4. So what is 17 divided by 4? Say it again, Hayes. 4.25. All right, Hayes said it ends in 0.25, so that answers I. I think that's the fastest way to do it, guys. I don't care which way you do it. 59 divided by 4, what's it end in? 0.75, somebody said? Is that right? 0.75, so that answers negative I. Now, if you just want to type in I to the 59th again, that's fine. I don't care how you do it. And you can do 37. All right, last one I need to help you with is 38. I thought 38 was kind of tough. and to make sure I get a 38 on your test. Well, I don't need to make it so easy. 38's challenging. All right, so
This is confusing.
what have I done on 38 for the first step on the board? Look at what I've done. What did I do?
Take that out.
Took out an I. Okay, so now, this says plus, Matthew. Can I add these up? Are these like terms here and here? Nope, so that lets me know I need to try to simplify it using my calculator. Okay, so take your calculator and simplify root 18. Use your program button. Tell me what it gives you. It's what? 3 and 2. So I got 2i out front, and then we got 3 root 2, what y'all said, right? All right, so now let's finish it out. I can times these two and get 6i root 2. So I did the first part of the problem, I simplified it, and I got to here. The second part of the problem, 2 will not simplify, so I just bring this down. All right, now look at it. Now do they have like terms? So add them up now, what do you get? 9i root 2, good. So we'll definitely have to practice on some more like that. I thought that was good. All right, y'all got 10 minutes left. For these last 10 minutes, y'all do on the other side, do problems 6 through 13. 6 through 13, y'all can work on that for the last 10 minutes. And we'll do this some more tomorrow.